Welcome, beloved, to the Narcissistic Love 101. This video, which is the beginning of your first week of the program in the group for the lounge, is talking about love bombing. And I am so excited about this particular topic. And then we're also going to talk about hoovering, but just not in this video. Because they're so connected, I decided to put the two together because it depends on what stages you're in the relationship, whether you're with the narcissist and you're still getting out. Love bombing would apply more to you versus you're fresh out of the relationship or thinking of leaving, and hoovering would apply to you then. So in this video, we're going to briefly talk about love bombing, and I'm gonna give you a little background about my story and how I recognize love bombing, and then we're going to talk about what it looks like, why it's used, when it's used, and how you can guard against it. So I just want to say thank you for joining this group program, this lounge, because I definitely want to provide a safe space for those who are dealing with trauma in their relationships. Like, it's ridiculous how narcissists operate. And oftentimes, a lot of them, their partners, like I really loved him. Like, I would have never, ever done any of those things that I did to him that were wrong, so to speak. But for me, they weren't wrong. They were self-defense. So that's like telling somebody you're wrong for shooting somebody trying to kill you. No, you're not. So I don't really feel bad for what I did, out, not even out of revenge, but out of protection, or just showing him who he was. But who wants to experience that in a relationship? But had he not been so toxic and ill-willed in his heart, we would have actually had a very good relationship, because those fake parts that were real, but they were fake parts of him that he knew how to put on a show for to get something from. So that was a part of him. He knew what to do, but it was like an actor acting out a part. So it wasn't real. Like, it wasn't sincere, which means that many of the things that he portrayed to think or feel was temporary, because they were all based off of emotions. So the thing about love bombing is it's very tricky and it's very difficult to discern, because oh my God, it can seem so real. So it depends on your journey in the relationship, because like now, towards the end of my marriage, I knew it was love bombing, whereas in the beginning I thought it was real love. So it depends on your journey and where you are. But let me tell you a story of how love bombing, and I'm pretty sure if you're here and you believe that you're with the narcissist, I'm pretty sure you probably are. And I'm pretty sure you've experienced these things, but I'm going to put it in a way that will get you to see through the eyes of the narcissist. So when you're in that situation, you'll know that 9 times out of 10, it's love bombing. And you'll know what to do when you realize that it's love bombing. So I was, and before I get started, I'm sorry, I just want to introduce myself for those of you who haven't had a chance to meet me. Of course, you don't see my face. Throughout my videos, most of my videos, I don't reveal my face, but my lives, I typically do, or some of them I won't. But anyway, I had a relationship. We were together for 2.5 years, very toxic, narcissistic relationship, very violent. Every form of abuse that you could think of was utilized, the worst being sexual, because he knew that just a year prior to us marrying, I had been raped by a man. So anyway, for him to sexually abuse me was very insulting and degrading. So anyway, but that's the type of person that he is. Anyway, so with love bombing, what what happens is, as a broken individual, which is typically those that get with narcissists, are the narcissist is able to love bomb you simply because there are so many holes or gaps in your mind about your past, and in your heart about the way you feel about that past. So we make the mistake as codependents or empaths with no boundaries or whatever. You make the mistake of giving the narcissist your whole life story, and they're able to, those holes that we have, they're able to falsely, now this is all falsely done because, again, their love bombing is not really real. It's just a part of their cycle. But the love, those holes that they feel through whatever it is they know that you need to hear. So if you say, for instance, you were molested as a kid and you don't trust, or you got cheated on, whatever, and you don't trust, they'll pretend to be trustworthy just to get your trust, because they know that you don't trust. And then when they get your trust, they'll do deceiving things because they know that it's going to take some time for you to adjust to the fact that you've hurt them. Narcissists are very cunning, very strategic, and even with their love bombing, it's very strategic. I remember my ex-husband actually telling me that him and his cousin would used to go to the library when they were younger and do research on how to manipulate women. That's what they do. That's what a narcissist does. You manipulate situations, which is why they're big liars, and love bombing is a big part of that lie. They manipulate and lie their way through situations so that they can create the perfect scenarios, so that they can be happy in their walk. They don't care about anybody else because it's not about them. I, Narcissists operate solely from their ego. They're very emotional. But anyway, love bombing. This is what it looks like. Now, you have had a 4 hour long conversation with the man you don't know. He sounds good. In this conversation, you reveal so much about yourself. In that revelation, he is able to pick up and discern your sore spot. By the end of the conversation, he's tapped on several of your sore spots, just by reversing what you said, having no inclination or knowledge on how to even do whatever it is he just promised to do, because he has no intention on actually doing it. His intention is only to suck you in, to make you fall in love with him so that later you can bomb him. So different people have different ways of determining or breaking down the love bombing, but the way I do it, it definitely works for me. It helped me to understand, and it helps my clients. So this particular person, you are in awe of this narcissist, not knowing that they're a narcissist, and they've just played you, because by the end of this 4 hour, 5 hour conversation, you're in love with them already. You think that they have what you need. And that's what the thought process of us and triggering that love. That's why you can say, I fell in love with him on our first conversation. No, you fell in love with the idea that they gave you of what they were going to present themselves as. And the reason you fall in love so easily is because you have this hole that they really didn't fill, because it's not their job to fill. They're not even assigned to fill it. They just put a fake ad up, so to speak, a fake position up to say that they will, but that's not their position. That's your job to fill that hole. And you fill that through life experiencing and you learning to love yourself, and you going to God to do that. So anyway, so this particular person you've fallen in love for, oh my God, in that process of falling in love, you totally forget to discover and explore this person. So 2, 3 weeks go past, you're deeper in love. Oh, because they've already passed the gate of fulfilling those black holes that you had. Remember that love that they pretended to have, because you have to understand that as a narcissist, they're pretending. They aren't real. The personality that they show you in the beginning is just a facade. It is what they figured is going to be the way to get to you. Let me repeat that. The way they act, it was something that you presented to them that showed them they had to play this particular role to get you. And because when a narcissist first meets you, they study you. They look for things to use against you later to help them develop this rapport with you to make you believe that they're the one for you, because their goal is to make you feel like you're the best thing that ever happened to them. And if you notice, a lot of them will say to your narcissist, more than likely said that you were the best thing that ever happened to them. Where have you been? And you probably responded with, where have you been all my life? Uh, it probably happened very fast. And I can definitely tell you that the bonding typically comes through the wounds. I've learned that the narcissist most likely had a traumatic childhood. Some of them do have the opposite of which personality they're created, where they were excessively treated overly fairly or overly good, like spoiled, or they were treated like crap, really, really bad. A lot of the narcissists that were treated like crap, really, really bad, they connect. That is the connection that keeps you or that gets you to the codependent, because the codependent has the same problem. It's just the reverse. It's probably not as bad or just from different perspectives. But the love bombing is required so that, one, they can get their claws and their grips in you and you won't go anywhere, because they test your self-esteem through the love bombing phase. Through the love bombing phase, they are able to see what threshold of love you require. And if all you got to say is, oh, I'm sorry, oh, I love you, babe, and that's it, and that's all, they're not going to do much to seek forgiveness from you in a situation. The love bombing is there to uh, manipulate you, to rewire your thoughts about them. So they want you to, and again, this is done at the beginning, but it's done throughout the relationship.